Hello everyone and welcome back to English by Nisa. In this video we are going to discuss degree semester 4 textbook exercises, that is vocabulary idioms. Idioms are figures of speech which enhance spoken and written language. Idioms are the phrases which derive their meanings from convention and establish usage rather than from the meaning of their individual words put together. Means these are the phrases that English speakers uses a lot. They might look simple, but they often have meaning you cannot guess just by looking at the words. For example, at the crossroad, that doesn't mean literally that someone is standing at the crossroads, but the meaning of at the crossroads means to be at important points in one's life. So idiom's meaning we cannot take it literally, it has different meaning. When we go through the exercise, you will understand it. Now let's get started with the exercises which you have in your textbook. So the first exercise, learn the meaning of the following idioms and use them in a sentence of your own. Now, as far as your exam point of view, they'll give you some idioms and they'll ask you to use the idioms in a sentence. Like in this exercise, we have these idioms and we have to use these idioms in a sentence. Like first we have here cost an arm and a leg. That means very expensive, something very expensive. So here I have used this idioms in a sentence. It cost me an arm and a leg to study in the USA. That means to study in the USA it's very expensive. The second one, judge a book by its cover. It's very common, means judging something based on appearance. I have used an example like you cannot judge a book by its cover. Just because he looks strange, that doesn't mean he is not a nice person. The third one is add insult to injury. The meaning of it is to do or say something that makes a bad situation even worse for someone. Like, for example, people were forced to work longer hours, and to add insult to their injury, the company decided to be given rises. The next one is hit the nail on the head. That means say something correctly. We cannot take its literal meaning. It doesn't mean that someone is hitting nail on someone's head, but to say something correctly, that's the meaning of this idiom. For example, she hit the nail on the head with her response. Feel under the weather. That means not feeling good. I don't feel like hanging out today. I am feeling a bit under the weather. The next one is bite off more than one can chew. That means try to manage something too difficult. Shah Rukh bit off more than he could chew in his debut movie. The next one is get one's act together. That means to organize one's affairs effectively. He could see out of work if he does not get his act together. Go the extra miles. That means doing much more than required, like our parents do for us. My father always goes the extra miles to help the needy. Or else we can say, my father always goes to extra miles to makes me happy. The next one, touch and go. That means unpredictable as to outcome. Means we cannot judge what would be the outcome. So here I have used this idiom in an example. The doctor says that it's touch and go whether Mary will be okay. The next one, be worlds apart. That means something is completely opposed or different. They are world apart. I cannot imagine how they ever decided to get married. When two things are opposite, we can use this idiom. The next one is up in arms. That means to be very angry. The entire class was up in arms when the lecturer said they would have an extra 30 minutes class each day. The next one, on cloud 9. It's very common. That means someone is very happy. I have used an example like Rahul is on cloud 9 since he got a job. The next one, leave out in the cold. That means neglected. Example, developing countries might be left out in the cold in current world trade talks. That means developing countries are neglected. Break new ground means discover something new. The film broke ground for women's liberation. The next one, blow hot and cold. That means having doubts on something. Like he has been blowing hot and cold about the trip to USA. On the ball, that means someone alert to new ideas, methods, and trends. For example, maintaining contact with customers keep me on the ball. Next one, bite the bullet. That means force yourself to do something difficult and unpleasant. For example, I hate going to the dentist, but I'll just have to bite the bullet. The next one, a blessing in disguise. That means apparent misfortune that eventually has good result. For example, my phone broke down again, but maybe it was a blessing in disguise. I have been wasting too much time. Now I can concentrate on my studies. The next one, hit the sack. Means it's time to go to bed. For example, I have got to get up early tomorrow, so I am going to hit the sack. The last one is play things by ear. We use it when we want to be more flexible with our plans. For example, I don't know exactly what I am going to do this weekend, but I am going to play it by ear. So here I have used these all idioms in a sentences. You can pause the video or you can take a screenshot of this all. Now let us start the second exercise. Here, use the idioms you have learned in this lesson to complete the following sentences. You might get this bit in your exam where they'll give you certain idioms and they'll ask you to fill in the blanks with the appropriate idioms. So here I have written answers. We sold the entire stock but were unable to break even. The meaning of break even means to have income equal to expenses. That means they have sold entire stock but they did not reach to the income that they spent. The next one, I would bet your bottom dollar that we will be able to win the tournament. Bet your bottom dollar means here you are sure. So if you are sure, you can use this idiom. I would bet your bottom dollar that we will be able to win the tournament. The next one, it is up to the boss to call the shots. Means the decision will be by the boss. The next one is she was at the scene of the accident, so she was able to give a blow by blow description to the police. That means blow by blow description means in detail. The sky seems to be clear when out of the blue it poured. Now, out of the blue is nothing but suddenly, suddenly unexpected rain. Now, let us see the third exercise. Look up the meanings of the idioms given in the box below and then use them appropriately to complete the sentences that follow. Now, here I have written these idioms along with their meaning that would be helpful for us to fill the blanks. So, the first one is to face the music, that means to accept the consequences of one's action, or else to deal with a difficult or unpleasant situation. Second one, to see eye to eye. That means agree with someone, to share the same opinion or view. When we are agree with someone, we can use this. Next one, to hold one's horses. That means if you want to say to your friend to be patient, you can use this hold your horses. That means you are telling someone to be patient or wait a moment. To cut the corners, that means to take shortcuts or the easiest way to do something. Next one, to break the bank. Here we cannot take it literally. It doesn't mean that really we are breaking the bank, but that means something costs too much money or something is excessively expensive. The next one, to call a spade a spade. That means to speak honestly and directly about the topics, especially topic that others may avoid. The next one, to cut no ice. That means to have no influence or effect. To bide one's time, that means to wait patiently for good opportunity to do something. Next one, to pour one's heart out. That means to express one's deepest thought or feelings. To climb up means to become silent or and to climb down means to relax or become less agitated. Now the next one is to take a back seat. That means to take a less important role. To take the bull by the horn, that means to face a problem or danger directly and with clear actions. So here I have used these idioms in a sentences you can see here. Let us see whether I have written correctly or not. So the first one is the suspect climbed up. when the police asked her where she was at the time of crime. So here to climb up means to become silent. When the police were investigating, she was climb up, that means she was silent. Krish is quite straightforward. You can trust him to call a spade a spade. Call a spade a spade, we have seen just now, that means someone who speak directly or honestly. We can use this. Next one, hold your horses. I'm almost done using the computer. That means you are saying to someone, hold your horses means wait a moment. I'm almost done using the computer. The fourth one is Savitri is bold and proactive when faced with the challenges. She always take the bull by the horns. That means take the bull by horns means face the situation directly. We thought he had forgotten about it, but he was simply biding his time. Bidding his time means waiting for good opportunity to do some action. Komal and her sister never see eye to eye on anything, means they never agree with each other. I had to cut the corners because I was not given enough time or money to complete the project properly. Cut the corners means do something in the easiest way or take a shortcut to do something. Next one, he neglected his studies and must now face the music, means face the problem because one's actions. I need new shoe, but the ones I want will break the bank. That means the one I want is very expensive. The government's new scheme ahead of election, cut no ice with the voters. Cut no ice with the voters means have no influence or no effect. So here you should not get confused between cut no ice and cut corners. Here cut corners means take a shortcut or easiest way, but cut no ice means no effect or no influence. The next one is due to its poor finances, the company's plan for expansion took a back seat. That means they are performing less important role. The last one is it takes me long time to trust someone well enough to pour my heart to them. That means it takes me a long time to trust someone well enough to say them my deepest thoughts. So this is all about the idioms. You can pause the video or you can take the screenshot of all this. In your exam, definitely you will get these idioms. They'll give you certain idioms, one or two, and they'll ask you to use those idioms in a sentences. So this is all for today's video. I hope it would be helpful for you. Stay tuned for more videos and thanks for watching.